Sussex County, would you please rise for the singing of the national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
My fellow seniors, we have certainly come a long way from where we were 4 years ago. We have attained knowledge, we have matured, and we have had so many fun experiences at this school. But more important than the experience is the achievement that we have attained by sitting here today. We have all put in so much time and invested so much energy during our high school career. We have spent 5,040 hours at this school during school hours alone. All the while, we have worked to maintain our jobs, our after-school activities, our sports, our community service activities, and even our social lives. Be proud of who you all are and of all that you have accomplished today. As Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard said, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. I know that we will all deeply miss every single unique individual that comprises our class of 2010. I am deeply honored to be a member of this senior class, our class of 2010. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Kaylee Mallon. We are all here for the same purpose, to see the class of 2010 graduate. Although there is much excitement in the air, we ask that you honor us by dignifying our ceremony by respecting each and every class member. Therefore, we ask the audience to refrain from yelling or causing disruption while the names are being called for our diplomas. Please share in our excitement while honoring our class, as we have been waiting for this moment and everyone deserves to hear his or her name being called. And to the class of 2010, as we are about to mark the end of our high school careers, we must know that this is just the base for all of the greatness we have yet to reach. To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream, not only plan, but also believe. Fellow students, do not stop here at the closing of high school. Continue dreaming, planning, and believing that you may accomplish anything you set out to do. Know that this is just the start to an astonishing life ahead of each one of us. Today is the day we set out to do something remarkable. Today is your day, and your mountain is waiting to be climbed and conquered. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I would like to begin this morning by talking about wolves, and more specifically about wolf packs. See, the concept of a wolf pack comes up in The Hangover, a movie I'm confident you all have seen. But for those of you out there who arrived from Middle Earth this morning and happen to miss that one, The Hangover uses the wolf pack as a motif. The group of friends in the film is a pack, and the storyline embraces that idea. So what am I saying? Graduates, we are wolves. I mean, think about it. We do all the same things. We travel in groups. Can you remember the last time you saw a girl go to the bathroom alone? We hunt for food together. We eat together. We sleep outside sometimes. We howl for no reason like they do. We fight. We run around. We mark our territories. It's obvious. There is one major difference, however, between real wolves and the graduates here today. Real wolf packs are together for life. We will not be. We cannot be. The future of the world which we inherit today is so full of challenges and unfulfilled promise that any complacency bred in this pack must be cast aside as we seize our diplomas here today. As the metaphorical gunshot goes off later today and we scatter in 268 different directions, partaking in the race we so naively call life, it is important to choose our future wolf packs wisely. Some of us will be going to college, some directly into the ever-changing workforce, and still some others into the military. Whatever pack you choose to join as you race onward, graduates, make sure that those with whom you run always have your best interests at heart, and that you treat those in and out of your pack with the respect they deserve. Life is too short to run in the wrong direction with the wrong pack, only to realize your grave mistake and attempt to find your way back home. It is my sincere hope that you all make yourselves truly happy in life, and surround yourselves with those who add to it. Because really, who knows what we can accomplish? All of us can become the alpha wolves in our respective packs. Whether it be as a college graduate, a mother, a father, an employee, simply a friend. Whatever you decide to do with your years on this earth, take solace in knowing that we define our successes and failures. Maybe one of us will one day go on to become a CEO of a great company, like BP. God help whomever fate touches with that one. Unfortunately, life seldom affords second chances. This moment is the last time our pack will be together like this. So please, feel the sun beating down on you. Look at the grass beneath your feet. Remember who is around you. I implore you to imprint this moment upon your minds, because as you trace your paths in life, you will always be able to double back, follow the trails you're about to leave behind, and run back to this moment. I am proud of you all in ways I could not have imagined. I am proud of the young men and women we have become. I am proud, most especially, of the chapter of our lives we are about to complete here today. And I hope that the next time you see the moon, you howl for the class of 2010. Thank you.
Good morning. I would like to begin by telling you a story. Now, first know that the characters here have no names. The people are yours to create. A man rolls out of bed in the morning, wipes the sleep from his eyes, and drags his feet to the bathroom. He washes up, gets dressed, and goes to the kitchen to make coffee for his long day in the office. His wife follows him out shortly thereafter and gives him a kiss on the cheek as he walks out the door. 30 minutes later, he strolls into his office, turns on the TV, and waits for the first customer of the day. A few minutes later, another man walks in the door and recognizes the man behind the desk. They went to high school together many years ago and hadn't seen each other since graduation. They swap stories, reminisce about sporting events and teachers, and discuss how other graduates from their high school days are doing. When I told you earlier that the characters here had no names, it was because each and every one of us can fill the shoes of those individuals. Each one of us has our own path to blaze, our own avenue to find in life. And no matter what direction we travel following today, we will always be united by the fact that we attended High Point Regional High School. High Point has fulfilled many purposes that have varied for each of us individually. It has served as a place of education and as a communal location where each of us could mingle with people and create new and hopefully lasting relationships. For me, High Point has served three main purposes. It has first and foremost served its primary function as a place of higher education. Throughout my years here, each of my teachers has encouraged me to attain the highest goals I set for myself, and I know each of you feel the same. Secondly, it has served as a place of athletic competition and excellence. And lastly, High Point has served as a place of friendship for each and every one of us. Throughout our years here, there was not a moment where we could not walk down the hallway and find someone to stop and have a conversation with. And each of our individual experiences is interwoven with the experiences of our whole class. Think back to the memories that we all share. Think back to September 2006, our first day of school here at High Point. Now, I can't speak for all of you, but I can say that I was pretty apprehensive on my first day of school here, and I think it would be safe to say that each of you felt the same. Will I like my classes? What will my teachers be like? Will I make new friends? Those are just a few of the laundry list of fears and apprehensions that we each brought with us. But after a week or so, those fears had largely evaporated and we found ourselves a part of the High Point community. And from that week in September, it's been full steam ahead. Individual days may have crawled by at an imperceptibly slow pace, and weeks may have dragged on in perpetuity. But when we look back, we can all see that they've gone by post-haste, and I personally can't believe that they're over with. It's been hard to imagine that it has been 4 years, but when we look at the amazing events and activities that have surrounded us, it's easy to understand. We've had the senior formal, the dinner cruise, junior prom, the homecoming game and dance. We've seen great sporting events, from our girls soccer team winning the first 100 in Warren Sussex tournament, to the girls basketball team beating Pope John in arguably the greatest basketball game in Sussex County history, to our wrestling team beating Long Branch in without a doubt the most exciting match that I've ever had the privilege to be a part of or attend. And don't forget the non-athletic events that make this school great. We've had World Peace Day, where the school seems to come together as one. This year's National Honor Society blood drive was one of the greatest ever, and all we needed to do was look around to see what a caring community and school we are. And anyone who has ever gone to a band concert or a school play can see that they're full of immensely talented individuals. As we prepare to leave High Point for the last time as students today, we must look ahead, because truly we cannot examine the past without looking to the future. President Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checked by failure, than to rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy nor suffer much, because they live in a gray twilight that knows not victory nor defeat." Although the future may seem at times foreboding and intangible, it is ours for the taking. Look back to the nameless characters in my story. Although each of us has heard the saying that we can do anything that we put our minds to, that saying largely rings true. We have been provided the tools to do whatever we want to in life. Among us are all sorts of people who will pursue various endeavors throughout their lives. Some of us may become entrepreneurs, while others may become corporation workers. Some may become nurses, while others lawyers. There are those among us who will go on to continue the tradition that our teachers here continue by working with teenagers and children. And although sometimes they're overlooked somewhat, we must never forget those among us who have enlisted in the military. For without their enlistment to protect us and help keep us safe, none of us can pursue the endeavors that we want to. As we sit here on this graduation day, with all these possibilities before us, it is a day of celebration, a day of reflection, and a day of thanks. Celebrating in that we have completed a major step in our lives and a new, exciting future lies before us. Reflection, because as we sit here today as graduates of the class of 2010, there are some who began this journey with us, who have passed on and are no longer with us. But we must never forget those individuals. They are as much a part of the class of 2010 as each and every one of us. And thanks, because there are so many who deserve it. to the teachers who taught us every single day, to the administration that has provided a school that is conducive to learning, to our community that is so supportive of our school, but most importantly to our parents. My grandfather's a very wise man and once told me of something of days such as today. He told me that this day does not belong only to you, it belongs also to your parents. And he's right. They have played an essential role in shaping the people we are today and will continue to be for the rest of our lives. While this day may not mean a tremendous amount to each of us right now, I would venture a guess that it kindles a considerable amount of pride and elation in each of our parents. I leave you with this, graduates. Joe Paterno, the greatest college football coach ever, in my opinion, once said, "Believe deep down in your heart that you are destined to do great things. Without this belief, none of us can truly advance. Discover your purpose and blaze your own trail. But remember, no matter what direction you take in life, no matter what route you find yourself on years down the road from now, all of us here are forever united that we are graduates of the High Point Regional High School, class of 2010. Thank you."
to my fellow classmates, as I stand here before you, we are about to receive our high school diplomas. But I would like you to think of the diploma as something else. Think of it as a ticket to pursue your dreams with no expiration date, a ticket to success. And I hope you will realize that success does not have one definition. Success has 268 definitions, one for each and every one of us. To succeed does not necessarily mean you will have the most money, or the fanciest car, or even the largest house. E.E. Cummings has said it best: to be nobody but yourself in a world which is doing its best night and day to make you everybody else means to fight the hardest battle which any human being can fight, and never stop fighting. I am giving you the task to become that person you were meant to become. Becoming this person will not be easy. We will find that certain decisions will be better than others, and some situations will not work out as planned. But even if you fall flat on your face, you are still moving forward. I want you to remember that there is no such thing as failure. Those times in our lives that do not turn out according to plan are just God's way of pointing us in a new direction. But through it all, remember, if you believe in yourself, others will too. And if you have confidence in who you are, there is no end to what you can accomplish. Always take a stand for yourself. Your integrity is not for sale. Although we will be forced to follow our own guidance on this journey, we are thankful to have been well prepared. Whether these past 4 years have seemed to fly by or to last forever, we will soon discover that each one of those days will have an effect on our journey. We have been fortunate enough to be given the opportunity to experiment with many different paths already. By involving ourselves in the countless clubs and sports programs our school has to offer, many of us were able to discover the things we love. And this discovery will make it that much easier to point ourselves into our own individual paths of success. Some of us may not have a clue as to what we truly love yet, or what career path we would like to take. But knowing what you don't love or what you don't want to do is just as meaningful. When Thomas Edison was experimenting with the light bulb, he said, "I have not failed 700 times. I have not failed once. I have succeeded in proving that those 700 ways will not work. When I have eliminated all the ways that will not work, I will find the way that will work." We cannot thank our teachers enough for their enthusiasm and efforts to open our minds to new interests. At times, it may have felt like homework, projects, and studying were endless, but you all have taught us that life does not get easier. We just get stronger. As we entered the doors of High Point in the fall of 2006, it was as if we had turned onto a new street. It was intimidating, yet welcoming, scary, yet promising. Coming from a few different school districts, we had the fear of walking into a classroom and not seeing any of our middle school friends. But that quickly changed. We allowed ourselves to become members of the High Point community as we signed up for clubs and sports, each day feeling more and more comfortable. By sophomore year, there were still things we needed to get used to, but by junior year, it came without hesitation. All of a sudden, we were taking the SATs and getting dressed up for prom, and we were told we needed to start applying for college. Then senior year came along, just as fast as the others. Before we knew it, we had committed to a college, had a blast at the senior formal, and a relaxing day at Fun in the Sun. But this street is now coming to an end, as all streets do. We are now young adults and hold our own power to live. So, we are at the stop sign right now. Which way will you go? Now is the time to start your journey. And on your journey to become who you are truly meant to be, there will not be arrows or neon signs depicting which ways you should turn. There may not even be a street where you would like to go, but that should never discourage you. Milton Berle once said, "If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door." Sometimes you may find that doors will slam in your face,
Other times, you might have to knock on a door until your knuckles hurt. But each time, you must pick yourself up and knock again, with no intentions of stopping until you open that door. It is the only way to achieve your goals in life, and the only person able to stop you from knocking is you. So when you receive your diploma, I hope you will also acknowledge that you are receiving your ticket to success, to opportunity, to fulfill the life you are meant to live. Thank you.
Distinguished members of the Board of Education, Dr. Hannum, fellow administrators, faculty members, members of the class of 2010, families and friends. Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the High Point Regional High School class of 2010. It is truly a memorable morning for our seniors, our families, friends, and our community. Weren't those tremendous speeches by our students? A special welcome also to our fathers and grandfathers out there who will be celebrating Father's Day tomorrow. Special thanks to our buildings and grounds crew, Paul Batista, John England, and the entire crews under Ralph Nito. They worked tirelessly, certainly it looks like it, so I wanted to thank them also. To the parents, friends, and community members gathered here today, the class of 2010 is a truly outstanding graduating class. Let me share some of their details. 29 seniors have earned the distinction of wearing the gold regalia for the National Honor Society. Another 44 have earned the right to wear the colored regalia for the Foreign Language National Honor Society. The color of the cord indicates the language that they have studied. Others are wearing the medallions that they received at our senior awards night. This medallion was awarded to a specific student who earned significant honors in their respective departments. The class of 2010 has also earned over $1,611,000 in scholarships and grant money, both from the colleges they will be attending and local awards and scholarships that were granted throughout our community. The class of 2010 future plans include 84% headed to 4- and 2-year institutions. 16% more are headed to the military, employment, and technical schools. Quite an accomplishment. Congratulations on your accomplishments, class of 2010. As you begin your journey as graduates for the class, remember that you will be missed by me and the entire High Point Regional High School community. You may have mixed emotions this morning. You may be sad about leaving friends in High Point, excited about your future, or even a little nervous about the challenges that lay ahead. But whatever you're feeling today, remember that wherever you go and whatever challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, you'll always be a member of our learning community, and we will always be here for you, as will be your parents, your friends, and the greater Sussex County community. In reflecting upon your graduation today and Father's Day tomorrow, I'm reminded of a story that the actor Will Smith once told. The story goes like this. Once Dad wanted my brother and me to repair a 16 by 14 foot wall in front of his business. We had to dig a 6-foot long trench and rebuild the structure. It took us 6 months. Years later, Dad explained why he had given us that task. When a kid's growing up, he said, he needs to see something that looks impossible to do and then go out and do it. Will Smith added, my father helped us get over one wall so we could never be scared to take the first step and try and do the impossible. This story reflects what we try to do as a learning community here at High Point. First, we try to instill values, honesty, respect, hope, faith, and self-confidence that will prepare you to face whatever comes your way in life, including hurdles that appear at first to be impossible. These values are now yours to choose to live by. Second, we at High Point try to instill in you and your individual friends, as members of a larger community, the ability to persevere and succeed in the face of great challenges and difficulties. This certainly has been true at High Point this year. Financial challenges, the loss of family and class members in our community, and the loss of favorite teachers and programs due to the financial realities this year have saddened and tested every fiber of the High Point community. Throughout the year, you drew upon the strength of your families, your friends, your teachers, the High Point administrators to make sense of these challenges and to move forward. You contributed your ideas and shared the sense of loss within our community. As a community, we collectively persevered in the face of seemingly impossible challenges. Class of 2010, rest assured, you are prepared for the future. As a class, you consistently demonstrate your commitment to academic excellence and to being prepared to face the realities of our current world. At High Point, you acquired the academic skills and abilities to achieve your dreams in life. Problem solving, technology skills, intellectual curiosity, the ability to converse with people with different genders and cultures, and to think critically, and writing communication skills are just a few of the abilities you acquired here at High Point that position you to succeed throughout your life. Graduate with the self-confidence to truly take on the world, knowing you are a better person due to your 4 years with us. While each of you is unique and will follow your own individual dreams, every parent, friend, and community member in the audience today is proud of your collective accomplishments as a class, as well as your individual achievements. Today is not only a milestone in our lives, but also a milestone in our community. We are here today to honor you, the class of 2010. In closing, on behalf of the High Point Regional Administration, our faculty and staff, I salute your successes as members of the class of 2010. As you begin to fly solo and confront the challenges ahead, remember, we believe in you, dare to dream, strive to achieve the impossible, aspire to be the very best that you can be, always extend a hand to those who share your world with you, and always remember that tolerance and respect are the hallmarks of democracy and good citizenship. Class of 2010, we will never forget your compassion, your genuine enthusiasm for life, and your love of learning. I bid you a fond farewell as you begin your journey. God bless you and God bless America. Thank you.
Members of the High Point Regional Board of Education, parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, friends, guests, staff, and graduates. Good morning and welcome to our celebration in honor of the class of 2010. Graduates, this is your day. You've worked hard and you've succeeded. There are no gifts on this stage today. You have earned this diploma, and I am proud of your accomplishments. You are leaving High Point having developed a strong foundation, a foundation supported by loving parents and a dedicated staff who encouraged and guided and motivated you throughout your time at High Point. You had the good fortune of working with administrators, staff, and parents who never gave up, who believed in your ability, and most importantly, who believed in you. Parents and staff, you are truly outstanding role models for our students to follow. Thank you, and I applaud you. Additionally, another tradition continues with this graduation as we strengthen our bonds that we have developed with our sending districts and welcome the superintendent from Sussex Wantage, Dr. Isbicki. Welcome, Ed. Graduates, now we must look to tomorrow. Mary Schmidt, a journalist with the Chicago Tribune, had this advice. Don't be reckless with other people's hearts. Don't put up with people who are reckless with yours. Don't waste your time with jealousy. Sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind. The race is long, and in the end, the real race is only with yourself. Remember the compliments you receive. Forget the insults. And if you really succeed in doing that, please let me know how. Focus on what is truly important. In the words of Oliver Wendell Holmes, it is faith in something and enthusiasm for something that makes life worth living. Graduates, I have witnessed firsthand your level of faith and enthusiasm and your level of caring and sensitivity for each other. What is important to you now as you face your future is what's been important to you all along. Family, friends, relationships, and making the right choices. Standing on principles, regardless of the pressures you face. So I'd like to just share a couple of suggestions for you as you begin your journey. First, if you want to be successful in your chosen field, find out what it takes to be the best of the best. Time, practice, commitment, sacrifice. There is a price. Today's preparation determines tomorrow's achievement. Second, cherish your friendships. Friends are some of God's best gifts to us. We don't have friends in our lives until we make room for them, until we learn to get outside of ourselves and care about what's happening in another person's life and in the community at large. You need to take time to make friends. Third, be a dreamer. We've often heard George Bernard Shaw's description of men. Some men see things as they are and say, why? I dream things that never were and say, why not? You need to dream things that never were. Fourth, take some risks. Don't be afraid to fail. That's how we learn. And there's an old saying in baseball that you can't steal second and keep your feet on first. Be courageous. The world is full of people who follow wherever the path may lead. But we need people in society who will strike out where there is no path and then leave a trail. I believe we have those people sitting right here today. As I think about this graduating class and the personalities here, I'm reminded of the lyrics of a famous Miley Cyrus song. She shares, there's always going to be another mountain. I'm always going to want to make it move. Always going to be an uphill battle. But it ain't about how fast I get there. It ain't about what's waiting on the other side. Graduates, it's about the climb. Put another way, graduates. Put another way, it's the journey, not the destination, that matters most. Right now, it is your tomorrow. Catch that magic moment and keep climbing those mountains. Congratulations, best of luck, and God bless you.
525,000 moments so dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in a life? How about times that she cried, in bridges he burned, all the way that she died. It's time now to sing out, though the story never ends. Let's celebrate, remember, here in the life of Christ. Remember that.
Good morning. It's always tough to be the last speaker after everyone's taken all the good things. On behalf of the Board of Education, I want to welcome everyone here today. In a few long minutes, we're going to be congratulating these students for making it through 13 years of school to get to this point. We also need to congratulate all the parents for enduring their children during those 13 years. Last month, I asked Principal Youngman how long the board president's speech needed to be, and with a straight face, he replied 30 minutes or so. After a moment, I realized he was joking, but even if he wasn't, and happily for all of us, I went to the KISS School of Public Speaking. No, not Kiss the Rock Group, but the initials KISS. Keep it short, stupid. I promise you it'll be short. Before I start, I'd like to tell you a little story that relates to my topic today. Last month I was in school for an assembly with the junior and sophomore classes about the budget crisis we were trying to cope with. And after the assembly, a girl came up to me and asked me if the Board of Education members were going to take a pay cut. I didn't know how to answer her at first. I was thinking, does she mean that we don't have to pay as much as we do? Then realized she didn't know that we were volunteers and do not get paid. I explained that the board was all volunteer, that we donate about 10 hours a month of our time from work and family, although lately with the budget problems it seems more like 10 hours a week. And that brings me to my topic today, volunteering. I know when I tell you the next part that some of the students will be thinking, oh, he's the one behind this, and yes, I was. About 6 years ago, when I was one of the volunteers working on the next 5-year plan for High Point, the group I was in finished its project and was just talking. It was me, then Principal Mr. Batukis, and the Vice Principal Mrs. Lastarza, and I made the suggestion that High Point require a certain number of hours of volunteering as a requirement for graduation, that many schools were doing it. They laughed at me and said it was a good thought, but who would go for that? And we moved on. A short time later, however, a requirement that every student perform community service in their 4 years in order to graduate was implemented. Some of the students, of course, waited until the last minute or last month to do their hours. Some I know already in this audience or the student body, and others got them out of the way early. It has become a great give back to our 5 sending districts and all of America. This class alone has performed over 10,000 hours of community service. Yes. The High Point students, whether it was a scout building picnic tables for a group home, helping out the state fair over the summer, a girl that I know that volunteered at an animal shelter one Saturday, and after cleaning out all the cages and pens, stopped to play with some of the cats, pulling a string that they chased, rolling a ball across the floor, petting them, until one of the shelter staffers asked how long she was staying for, and she said, "Oh, by noon." And they laughed and told her it was already 1:30. She was so involved in having fun that she didn't realize that she'd been playing with the cats for over 2 hours. Another girl dragged her boyfriend with her to play games at a nursing home, and then had to drag him away as he was listening to a man tell him firsthand what it was like to be on the beach on that first day of landing on D-Day. So I urge all you students not to forget volunteering, whether you're going to work, commuting to school from home, living in a college far away, going into the military. Get involved. If you taught Sunday school at your local church, look up the church where you're going to school. Volunteer to teach Sunday school again. Help out with the youth group. If you're a Girl or Boy Scout, look up the Brownie or Cub Scout troop in the town. Offer to help and share your knowledge of scouting. Find the soup kitchen and volunteer. My daughter joined a social service sorority in college, and I'm sure they had plenty of time to party, but they also found time once a month to go to a local hospital and read books to the kids that were patients there. They adopted 2 miles of roadway, and once quarterly went and cleaned up all the litter. They ran the town's annual Easter hunt for the kids. There are hundreds of ways that you can help others after you leave these hallowed halls of High Point, and I urge you to keep volunteering. As the guidance department would probably tell you, it looks good on your resume, but it's also good for your heart. The simple joy of pulling a string for a kitten beats a trip to the mall. Reading to a child stuck in the hospital is more rewarding than sitting at home on the couch reading the latest 17 magazine. Or learning how bad war is from an old soldier is much better than the latest Warcraft game. Your volunteering these past 4 years has made a mark on all of you, all of whom you have touched. Don't stop now. Thank you. Be safe when you leave here, and good luck to all that you do here out. Thank you.
Just a friendly reminder, if you need some water or whatever, please, you can go over there, go into our cafeteria if you get faint or whatever, as we begin the next portion of the ceremony. By virtue of the power invested in me by the Board of Education as principal at High Point Regional High School, I certify that the graduates here this morning have successfully completed their graduation requirements as stipulated by our Board of Education and the New Jersey State Board of Education.
Ian Michael Blanco. Kaylee Nicole Mallon. Jessica Elizabeth Edelman. Zachary Ryan Salerno. Caitlin Noel Dispenseri. Eric Joseph Pauls. Erica Jean Brennan. Joseph Morales. Lisa Ann Walther. Kyle James Guest. Sarah Caitlin DeFalco. Anthony Jaquel Jackson. Samantha Lynn Kane. Kirk Joseph Gelson. Jennifer Makis. Devin Mitchell Roach. Caitlin Beth Churchman. AJ Yamasaki. Emily Elizabeth Furlow. Jonathan Lugo. Yenny Lynn. Cody Dale Burns. Kimberly Vinaltice. Michael Nick Ortiz. Kristen Nicole Broderick. Samuel Pearson Gersey. Amy Lynn Appleton. Thomas Albert DiVantonio. David Warren Smith. Brandy Victoria Franick. Robert L. Wade. Rachel Aaron Eddy. Michael Joseph Aceta. Kelsey Rose DiMicantanio. Gregory Antonio Castiglione. Larissa Karen Suffin. Richard Eugene Mortimer. Daniela Sangiovanni. Thomas Michael Brennan III. Brenna Ann Bianchi. Jason Edwin Steiger. Jennifer Lynn Howe. Jonathan Matthew Harvey. Kayla Rachel Decker. Michael Patrick Brusher. Lauren Dana Kimball. Mark Daniel Wolgemuth. Nicole Ashley Carlino. Lorenz Michael Sabanko. Brianna Lee Duran. William Joseph Gould Jr. Allison Mascherone. Anthony Michael Prada. Melissa Inez Donez.
Andrew David Vandenheuvel. Danielle Carmela Doyle. Douglas William Struble. Alicia Marie Corson. Keith David Soltis Jr. Laura K. Denhollander. Bobby Romaglino. Taylor Marie Torpy. Michael Vincent Oldock. Tiffany Marie Raymond. Jeremy Patrick Myers. Rochelle Lynn Garrido Chase. Kevin A. Howard. Nicole Ruth Sarno. Nicholas Michael Giamenko. Valerie Jean Brands. Nicholas Joseph Francavilla. Leanna Padalino. Ryan Scott Fairchild. Paige Taylor Luciola. Zachary Scott Both. Tamara Marie Johnson. Ryan Allen Harford. Christine Cassidy Hall. Nicholas Joseph Remner. Taylor Lynn Olson. Joseph Tyler Underwood. Jonathan Tyler Deming. Melissa Ray DiBerardino. Dylan John Cease. Brittany Lynn DeWolf. Eric Charles Steinert. Karen Elizabeth Tansky. Brendan Lee Rowan. Jessica Marie Ciesla. Timothy Charles Pelagi. Caitlin Nicole Struby. Anthony Morris. Kate Elizabeth Ruskowitz. Ernest Lawrence Malone. Rachel Ann Bush. Lucas Alexander Gomez. Amanda Taylor Post. Michael Kenneth Frank. Chelsea Oberg. Kevin M. Farber. Danielle Margaret Latrenta. Scott Michael Donegan. Kristen Elizabeth Lipinski. Herman Buster Flood. Jenna Mary Hendershot. James Everett Ashley. Nisa Maria Catalina Gentilella. Brandon Michael Kolaski.
Kirsten Nicole Connors. Andrew John Dominic Arnold. Michael Ann Noel Virilli. Christopher James Brady. Susan J. Ruick. Axel Demrist. Lisa Ashley Metzler. Louis Nucci. Samantha Paige Muller. Connor Larry Price. Catherine Lorraine Furman. Jesse Donald Oberg. Brittany Ann Hallowitz. Jeffrey Peter Mikowski. Candace Corby. Anthony Philip Longo. Samantha Ann Clayton. James Michael Keene. Amy Lynn Beltran. Matthew Lewis Heyman. Sarah Reese Brandow. Jonathan Mark Finicario. Carolyn Jean Wallace. Christopher James Dunn. Kelly Ann Tracy. James Patrick Dordry. Elena Catherine Donadio. Paige Ashlyn Ziegler. Clay Thompson. Dina Maka Spanner. Timothy John Rand. Nicole Oken. Brandon John Zola. Shayna Lee Stella. Frank Charles Crampton. Graduates, quiet. Kylie Elizabeth McVeigh. Daniel James Ragnetti. James Marie Kanapka. Louis Arthur Raymond Pieri. Courtney Christine Engler. Nicholas Peter Mayer. Rachel Marie Decker. Anthony Michael Lutz. Eleni Christopoulos. Christian Kosminski. Marie Ashley Caulfield. Andrew Kalbline. Maria Elizabeth Alvino. David Joshua Glue. Kathleen Utitel. Anthony Salvatore Fideli. Devin Danae Adams. Gavin Richard Donahue. Alyssa Dorothy Donadio.
Alexander Arthur Smith. Jessie Marie Dietz. Ryan Harold Lewis. Stacy Lee Armstrong. Randall Wayne Heverly. Chelsea Lynn Farashon. Joseph Francis Martin. Samantha Rose Aprile. Christopher D'Amelio. Madison Lee Martin. James Patrick Casapula. Lauren Ashley Heller. Harold Richard Fairweather. Stephanie Nicole Guerra. Cody Allen Weber. Kara Rose Bond. Daniel Woodhead. Megan Kimberly Graves. Kyle John Whitehead. Jessica Marie Kiley. Daniel Charles Vandenheuvel. Lori DePork. Matthew Anthony Ciuffatelli. Taylor Page Little. Christopher James Lordy. Gabriella Grace Najadlik. Jacob William Schusler. Shane Norman. Jessica Malazzo. Paul Joseph Masker. Brianne Ariel McGlone. Donald Rocco Luth. Melody Alexandra Bieber. Carl Michael Harvey. Lacey Joe Caitlin Hoffman. Brad Robert Cassidy. Rebecca Diane Heismeyer. Zachary Scott Alshouse. Alexandria Lauren Dutko. Kyle T. Bertode. Jessica Ann Corson. Devin Michael Wilson. Stephanie Ann Fox. Dylan Anthony Walsh. Amy Catherine Cullen. Trevor Alexander Pappenmeyer. Ashley Elizabeth Faulkner. Jonathan Albert Weiss. Kara Susan Winfield. Brandon Mulligan. Dana Mayer. Daniel Stroh. Kayla Hall. Joseph Andrew Beltran.
Zachary Joseph Post. Jessica Catherine DiPiano. Stephanie R. Varga. Hope E. Vandenacker. Brian James Caracazella. Jennifer Irene Stickle. Kevin Matthew Russell. Kendall Marie Peterson. Matthew James Osterhout. Christina Rose Kehoe. Adam William Kowalski. Alicia Nicole Warflar. Anthony Richard Palumbo. Christina Lee Salvador. Richard Joseph Gannon. Danielle Marie Van Horn. Georgi Chantoria. Kendra Lynn Stephenfield. Timothy Patty O'Brien. Brittany Marie Pease. Mark Brogandui. Allison Provenzano. Cameron J. Siebesma. Saskia Marguerite Niehoff. William Alexander Stetzel. Beth Ann Larson. Olufemi Martin Adabola. Aaron Elizabeth Williams. Michelle Aaron Tracy. Mark Anthony Vosberg. Samantha Grace Sicarella. Logan Charles Ziegler. Kimberly Lynn Muser. Andrew John Fedinich. Meredith Dean Daniels. Cody James Kinney. Justine Lee Doherty. Ryan Adam Powell. Amy June Much. Blaise William Jacobus. Kristen Marie Penniker. Nathan Christopher Orr. Skylar Mary Zagliski. Christopher Van Orden. Alicia Vanderwerp. Anthony Michael Toro. Jennifer Teresa Sigerson. James Joseph Johnson. Laura Marie Pierce. Jonathan David Sayre. Krista Renee Muller.
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduate class of 2010. This concludes our ceremony for today. A reminder that we will have a reception